Hey everybody, it's Jimmy and Bill. So today's video is about first-time home buyers. People that never bought a house before and they're like, okay, what do I do? So let's get started. We'll go down the list of things you should do when considering to buying your first home. Bill, give me the first one.
All right. We'll just assume you know where you're going to move. We'll just
I guess, yeah, that's,
we'll just assume you know where you're going to go.
I guess we're going to keep it basic right now.
Yeah.
All right, where are you going to move to?
Where are you going to move to? We've got that nailed down. So you figured all this out. You started looking a little bit, and now you need to take into consideration your finances. Let's look at how much money you have to put down. Do you have a lender yet? Have you spoken with a lender? What's your credit? Just your finances overall.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not a mortgage lender, but this is part of what I do, and I kind of give you some advice and some pointers.
So basically you're saying, okay, so you have an idea, you're not searching for a house yet.
Not yet. Nope, you got an idea where you're going to be.
Okay.
The generalized area. Now you're going to kind of look at your finances and how much money do you have to put down. Do you have 3.5% for something like an FHA mortgage?
Okay.
Or do you have 20% for more of a conventional mortgage?
Okay, so basically you meet with a loan officer.
Yep, for a loan officer. Okay, and there's also special programs out there.
Right.
And you may qualify for one of those. So that's why it's important to chat with a local loan officer, in the area that you're going to move to.
So basically, I think we just covered two things you should do right away. Have an idea of where you want to move to, so you have kind of idea how much money you're going to need.
Yep.
And then the second thing is meet with a loan officer to see if you qualify for that amount of money.
Right. It's just a conversation. Now, I know there are easy access portals and get your instant, pre-approval. If you don't have a loan officer that you've worked with in the past, or somebody that can, be recommended to you by a friend or a family member, get in touch with, which could bring us to our next part, is, your realtor that you've chosen. They probably have a partner, or they've got some experience with different lenders, and they can point you in the right direction, or at least give you a little bit of advice down that path before you just start clicking a lot. Because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to get on a ton of lists, and you're going to get 20 mortgage lenders calling you from all over the place, giving you all kinds of different advice.
Yeah, so don't do one of the clicks lead stuff, because then you're going to get a whole bunch of phone calls. That's really a good one. So is there anything else before we go on to the next one?
Yeah, while you're speaking with your lender, or interviewing maybe a couple lenders, don't forget you're going to need at some point, not necessarily on your first phone call, but you will need your pre-approval letter. Mm-hmm. Now there's a little bit of a difference. Some people use different words for it, but you're going to have a pre-authorization letter and a pre-approval letter. So pre-authorization basically is you've gone over, like, hey, this is how much I owe in credit cards, car payment, etc. This is how much I make, and it's based off of your word. That's your pre-authorization. Your pre-approval letter, when you get that's not necessarily commitment to lend, but what that is, it's a little more solid, because now the lending institution has pulled your credit, and they've verified what you said is accurate, or maybe there's something that you don't know about. So pre-approval versus pre-authorization letter.
So that's definitely important to do. And then what you should do is find a realtor. And I'm not talking about any old realtor. I'm saying find a realtor with experience. I know a lot of people have friends and family that are realtors and stuff, but they might not have experience. They might not be the best person for you. They may not know the area that you want to move in. So that's really important. What do you think about friends and family?
I agree. You want to use your friends, you definitely want to try to use your family, keep the peace, but then think about it maybe on the flip side. So just kind of look at both sides of that coin. Keeping the peace. What if something goes wrong?
That's true.
Or a mistake is made. You want to keep them as your family and your friends, and not have, like, the family feud, if you will. Not saying that something's going to go wrong, but just think about it. Something else I think you should take into consideration would be, an agent that's full-time, no matter who it is. Okay.
Right.
Let's say, you know, I get it. There's agents that I know that have to work, you know, part-time job, you know, to make some ends meet, things, you know, because real estate's up and down as far as sales go. But, you know, and we don't actually get paid until we close, so that could take some time. But having an agent that's full-time, you want to go see a house one afternoon, but they're at work.
But let me ask you,
You know?
yeah, and I totally understand that. And you don't want to conflict with somebody that's a good friend of yours or
Yeah.
a family member because they screwed up or something. But how do you go about finding a real estate agent? Just say you're driving past and you see a sign in front of a house and the realtor's name is on there. Should you call that realtor?
Sure, give them a call. See if they answer the phone.
Yeah.
You know, if they're putting signs out, they're, you know, they're already a step above the average, I would say. You know, because they've got some signs out, so they're trying to do some self-marketing, so they take it a little bit more seriously, perhaps. You know, you've got, if they answer their phone, or maybe they're working with a client and they don't answer their phone, but how fast do they get back to you? Do they shoot you a text message? Hey, I got your voicemail, I'm working with a client. You know, something along those lines.
So basically, see how long it takes for them to call you back.
Right.
But the thing I was talking about is I'm driving by, I see a house that I'm interested in, and I see a for sale sign. A for sale sign. Now, the problem is, who do they represent?
Okay, so legally you can represent both sides, but they are representing that seller first and foremost. You know, realistically, they're going to represent that seller. You're not going to get a better deal by using the agent on the sign, technically. You know, I know a lot of people think that they can get a better deal, you know, by calling the same agent, and different states do different things. But in Florida, it's not going to make a difference here. They're contractually bound already on the advertised price for the listing. So you're not going to get a better deal. And work with an agent of your own that you've chosen. Maybe you don't want to work with that agent. Maybe they're not the best agent for you. Work with an agent that's good for you, that fits for you. It's going to take you around and has the local knowledge. There's companies out there, as far as listings go, they'll just list the house. They don't need, there's people that are in Orlando and they'll just list the house for you.
But how do you find the right? Do you just look at reviews? Go to a particular area that you're looking in and just Google them and read the reviews of everybody?
All those things can be good.
Okay.
Now, just because somebody doesn't house their reviews on Google doesn't make them a bad agent, you know, or just because they don't have 500 reviews, that doesn't make them a bad agent.
Right.
You know, call. Like I said, when I'm picking somebody, pick up the phone and talk to them. You know, have a conversation, see if they can intelligently answer your questions. You know, hey, how's the market? What do they answer when you say that? You know, I need to do, my affordability is X. Where can I move to? Where can I live? I need to be close to this.
So you want to know how well they know the neighborhood where you want to buy.
Yeah, that's kind of your interview process. I think we've said it in another video. If they don't know where the major parks,
yeah, if they,
you know,
we said if they have to plug it into their GPS.
That's what it was, yep.
If they have to plug it into their GPS to get you to the park or the beach or a place, they don't know the area.
Right. Nothing wrong with people who've, you know, transplanted here. I'm a Florida native. I grew up in this area. I've been here my entire life. And, you know, it just takes time for somebody to learn the area. Everybody can learn, so you can be from wherever and still learn the area here. Just make sure that they actually know the area. You're gonna do yourself an injustice by not having an agent that knows the area, regardless of where they're from.
Okay, so now you got financially approved.
Yep.
You did their financing. You know the kind of the idea of where you want to will be. You picked a realtor. Now what?
Now it's time to start looking, and I don't recommend you use all these forward-facing sites. My recommendation is that you get the information that's coming from your realtor specifically.
Okay.
It's going to be more accurate. It's going to be updated faster. Those forward-facing sites out there, you know, they're not up to date. You don't want to click on buttons that say, you know, book an appointment, because you're just going to get more realtors calling you. And I use those. It's how we get marketing. It's our marketing platform for realtors, and it's how we get a lot of our customers, and they're great. But at the end of the day, you've already got a realtor. You don't need to get
just have the realtor pull a MLS listings
set
from
up a
the
search for you,
for a search.
and it's going to be more specific to you. and
Right.
your needs that you've already sat down and had an interview with that agent. That's another thing. What questions did the agent ask you? That's really important. Did they interview you
Right.
on what your needs are? If they don't, you might want to think twice.
Okay. So now you go and you're looking at houses, you
Yep.
find the perfect house. So now you qualify financially, you got a real estate agent, you got everything in place. The next thing I would recommend is a home inspection. Don't waive the home inspection,
Right.
because think about it. If they find, say the home inspection costs you $500-600, but if they find something that'll cost you $3,000 right off the bat, you're ahead of the game.
Right.
And even though you're like, okay, I know what I'm looking at, you're not going to be looking at a house and climbing into the attic and, you know, taking a look at everything, because you won't take the electrical box cover off. I strongly, and that's because I'm a home inspector. I just find this over and over again. When I do inspections, they're like, thank God we weren't going to do an inspection. Thank God you came in, because you saved our butt, basically.
Right, and on that note, if you know, there's people out there that are very handy, maybe they're contractors in another state, maybe they're contractors here. If you are, or you're just handy, just remember liability. No homeowner is going to let just any person come in and take the electrical panel off and start, you know, doing a full home inspection on their house. You know, inspectors are licensed. Whether if you're a general contractor, then you're going to go through your you know.
But you know
your
what?
company.
If I was buying a house, I would hire a home inspector, obviously one that I know.
Of course.
I would have him or her come in and start doing the inspection next to me,
Yeah.
because a second set of eyes never hurts.
Exactly. And if you're there with your home inspector, don't ask 1,000 questions to the home inspector, because you're going to distract them, and then they could miss something. So let them work a little bit, but you're more than welcome to be there. I encourage my clients to be at the home inspections with me, you know, so that they feel comfortable and they can ask questions.
All right, so now got the inspection, the house is good, the inspection's all done.
Yep.
Who takes care of the closing? Does the realtor get in touch with a title company?
Well, now you've gone through your what we call a due diligence period, and you looked at your insurance. Okay, you've looked at, because you need those insurance quotes, and you need to make sure that you can afford the insurance. That way, if you have to withdraw your offer, you have the opportunity to do so. Now the realtor is going to go to work on the backside, send all the information to the title company that the seller chooses. The seller typically chooses the title company here in Florida, in our particular area. There's other areas of Florida where the buyer chooses the title company.
Okay.
Okay, but here it's the seller. Then the realtor is taking care of the rest of your paperwork. You're going to have to send a whole bunch of paperwork into your lending institution. You're going to work on that side. Realtor is going to work on the real estate side, making sure everything gets cleared, all contingencies are cleared, title's clear, all that good stuff. They're going to work with the title company.
Usually,
on that.
how long does it take between, you know, finding the house and closing, on average?
On average, depending on your lender and depending on your loan type, you're roughly about 30 days to 45 days, depending on your loan type.
Because somebody has to order the appraisal.
Right, that's part of the realtor will make sure that the appraisal gets actually ordered in the timeline, because contractually we're bound to specific timelines, and then it gets back to the mortgage company. That way we know that the house actually appraised for the offer amount that we put in.
Okay. All right, so this is all good information. Are we missing anything other than going to the closing?
Don't buy anything.
Yeah, don't buy anything.
Okay, listen, I understand there's going to be sales. There's, oh, I need to furnish this, I need to do this. I'm not talking like, you know, don't buy a
car. Don't co-sign for your kids or somebody's $900 a month payments.
Co-signing, buying a new vehicle, opening a whole bunch of new lines of credit, things of that nature, do not do it. I know, oh, I just put it on layaway. That was something that happened with one of my clients. Well, I thought layaway, because I hadn't heard layaway in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
Like layaway's been a while. So, but layaways come back, and technically that's a form of credit. Okay, even though you don't get the product yet, but you put it on layaway.
Because they're going to pull your credit right before closing usually.
Oh yeah. And they're going to know. And then they could deny your loan right at the end there.
Right. So that's important.
Yep. Don't buy anything. Just, I know you want that furniture, but I can't stress it enough.
And you want that shiny new car, but don't do it.
Don't do it.
What else?
Then it's just a matter of wiring your money
Okay.
in to you're getting loan approval. and you'll have
Who holds that money? The title company?
title company holds
Okay.
all the money. Well, the bank will hold your money for now.
Yep.
And then you'll get your loan approval, and then you'll get a statement of all the closing costs and fees broken down by the title company and how much you have to come to the table with. And that'll be out 3 days in advance, 3 business days in advance. And then you'll get the amount you need to wire to the bank for closing and settlement. And you'll go to the bank and
You're closing?
you send over a wire, and then you're going to schedule your final walkthrough with your realtor
Before you close.
before you close. Make
Yeah.
sure the house is still there and everything that was promised
Yeah.
to you is done.
So here's a quick thing. Like when I'm doing inspections and people still live in there, it's really hard to see everything. The closets are full from bottom to top. You know, there's stuff up in the attic. There's just furniture. There's paintings on walls. And once they move all that stuff up, everything looks different. So look for scratches, look for holes, look for things that the inspector couldn't find.
Right. That doesn't mean that you can go and, oh, I want this fixed now. We're talking glaring holes.
Glaring, yeah. Like, you know, okay, they took the clothes out and there's a big wet spot, you know, hole in the thing.
There was a deal that went on, and the person had a large debris pile out in the backyard next to the fence.
Yeah.
And when they cleared out that debris pile the morning of closing, there was a giant, I mean, I could have almost walked through the hole in the fence. I mean, I would have ducked, but I could
wow.
almost, it was a huge, they put it there on purpose, in my opinion, just to,
Just to cover it up.
cover it up kind of thing. We ended up working it out, and we held some money back to get it repaired. But that's what I'm talking about. Not like these little things. It's, you know, you're buying a house that you're going to notice things, and when you live there, you're going to notice things too. You know, cosmetic type stuff. We're talking major. The AC is working, the range is working, and the house is, you know, broom swept and
Yeah,
clean. That's pretty
absolutely.
much it. And you go to closing.
And then congratulations, you own a house.
You own a house.
That's today's video. Here's the next video you should watch. So it'll be there pointed here or here on your screen. Do me a favor, if you like these kind of videos, consider subscribing. Just hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you get notified next time we upload a video. Greatly appreciate it, like always. Thank you and have a great day.
See you on the next one.
Bye.